Welcome back to Nerd Notified. Today we're talking the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. So, it's finally here. Zack Snyder's Justice League is out in all of its 4-hour glory. And for better or worse, we've got a pretty nutty flick to talk about here. It's a pretty wild experience. This is a weird experience to talk about. I enjoyed watching this flick 100 times over the original theatrical cut of Justice League. I can tell you that right now. And I think most fans are going to agree. Now, I say I like the film a lot better than what it was originally. That does not mean it's perfect. Actually, I have quite a few issues with it. It is not by any means stellar, but the fact that this movie is even out there and we get to experience it how Zack Snyder originally envisioned it is a testament to the fandom of DC and the fandom of that original movie, and trying to see, again, Zack Snyder's vision all the way through. The fact that this is even out there is incredible. So kudos to Zack, kudos to all the fans and all the people who put in a ton of work to get this movie out there. That's amazing. Just a little quick hits on the things that I really enjoyed. We got so much more backstory for a lot of these characters that just kind of got thrown away in the first cut. So Cyborg, Flash, even a little bit more so for Aquaman than what we at least seen in the original cut. We get a lot more for them, at least bringing them into this story. And you could honestly just say that this is a Cyborg movie and then a Justice League movie. It really does almost feel that way. Like it is that much of a night and day difference from what we got in the original Joss Whedon cut. The action scenes are better. So they're more drawn out, which is actually kind of nice. The initial scene with Wonder Woman, where she's saving the kids, is very, very cool. Very, very just powerful. And that's kind of what I wanted to keep seeing from Wonder Woman, instead of kind of what we got from the floaty kind of action scenes for Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman. Not to say that one's necessarily better over the other, but I preferred kind of the punch, the emphasis on that speed and power that Wonder Woman actually has in Zack Snyder's versions versus what we've seen in her films so far. The story itself is far more cohesive, in my opinion. Again, very drawn out. It's 4 hours worth of film here, and they definitely could have cut it down a bit more to make it a little bit more streamlined. But you get a lot more exposition, for good or for good or bad. There's a lot more exposition as to what is actually happening and why it's happening. And again, this is a essentially the same movie when it comes to outcome, with different ways of how you get there and some cooler things that happen in between. So again, I'm trying to avoid spoilers for those who haven't seen the original Justice League as well as this one, but their workarounds and approaches and the feelers that you get for each of these critical points in the plot definitely feel much more earned. Oddly enough, my biggest complaint is the overuse of slow-mo in this. I don't know what it is about Zack's feel or Zack's approach to making them feel very godlike and having this very like operatic or chant like music over slow-mo for really cool scenes. They look great, so I'm not disagreeing there. I think they look fantastic. They're shot in a very cool way. They actually shot in 4:3 instead of traditional wide, mostly because that had been the original view, to have it in IMAX, so you get a really tall frame, so you can really get to see a lot of it. The slow-mo itself is literally everywhere. It feels like it's happening like every 5 minutes, or at least when they're not talking. And it's just too much, in my personal opinion. There are some odd music choices as well. Again, I mentioned some of the operatic or kind of chant-like tones that you get over some of these action scenes or over some of these moments. While it's not off-putting, I do think it's just, again, it feels very just over the top, and that can pull some people out. Some people are going to love that, but for me, it does pull me out a little bit. And there's one in particular that does seem a bit strange and out of nowhere. I understand why they do it. It just feels, again, weird. It just doesn't fit tonally with what you think the rest of this movie is going to be. I do want to touch on a couple things here. All those reshoots that we got from the Joss Whedon version that had the very terrible looking mustache on Superman are gone. Pretty much most of all of the reshoots, scenes are absolutely, not present here. So you're not going to see some of those grossly over sexualized scenes with Wonder Woman and Flash, like where he falls on top of her, and some of the stuff that just really didn't need to be there, thankfully is gone. So all of that mess and I do say mess, is out. There are a couple things that Joss did that might be worth some praise, but all in all, this is a much better movie, and I would recommend you watch this 4 hour cut over the original theatrical cut. That being said, it is a 4 hour cut, and it's not something I can readily say everybody can just drop and sit down and enjoy. I mean, you have to be ready to sit down for 4 hours to enjoy a flick. I mean, we've had some long movies out there, but a 4 hour movie that you really want to sit all the way through, either you got to be ready for it or be prepared to, cut it off at part four-ish or something like that and come back to it later in the day or the next day. But either way, I absolutely do recommend everybody go check this out. Is Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League the second coming? In a weird way, yes, but also no. It's not going to blow anybody's mind, but it is a very cool experience and a worthy one at that. And the fact that it's even out there is, again, praise to Zack, praise to the fans, all the people who came together to make this even a thing. And the fact that we can get something like this on a streaming platform does maybe present opportunities for other filmmakers and other creators out there to get these visions made and maybe put on a streaming platform that you may not see in theaters. So really cool. I have nothing but praise for that. Is it the best movie in the world? No. Is it the best superhero flick in the world? For me, no. There are things that I would rather see or things I'd rather experience from these characters than the exact direction that we're going for this, or at least that Zack had in mind. I'd be down to watch it, and I wish we could, but ultimately, that's probably not going to be the case. Although if it does happen, I am here for it. Again, for those who are a fan of the DC flicks, I absolutely recommend you check this out. For those who are just DC Comics fans in general or just want to check out more of this universe and how they would have eventually taken it, check this out. It's definitely worth it. It's a 7.5 for me. It's not something that I would say is bad by any means. It's way above average. It's not the most stellar piece of media out there, but I had a very good time. I don't have really any complaints to just bring the movie down. I do enjoy it. I do like that it's out there. So go check it out. It's worth it. It's on HBO Max. What more can you do except sit at home and enjoy some snacks and, a good 4 hour flick? Thank you everyone so much for coming by to check this review out. I appreciate it. Don't forget, I stream on Twitch. I'm usually on at 7 p.m. Central, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays with pop-up streams for Saturday and Sunday. I'm usually on. You can check me out. Don't forget to follow me on all the socials to see when I go live. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. And of course, follow along in our Discord. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. And you just been notified. Peace!